I'm very well, thank you. It's great to see you. Can you start off, please, with introducing yourself and just telling everyone where you live at the moment?
Okay, my name is Marlon Muianga. I'm 19 years old. I'm a Mozambican student currently studying in South Africa, Johannesburg. I kind of I have both homes right now because most of the time I'm in SA, but during holidays when I have to come back or when I have time, I'm most of the time in Mozambique.
Okay. So where are you studying in South Africa?
Monash University. It's an Australian university, but we've got a campus in Johannesburg.
Okay, wonderful. And then when did you have to move back to Mozambique with the lockdown? Did you move back there just before the lockdown was implemented?
Yes, just before. I still remember that 2 days before the lockdown was announced by the president, I was actually on my way back because schools had closed already. So I decided to come back.
Okay, all right. So you just happened to already be on your way home. You didn't have to make a special trip to go back to Mozambique.
No, I didn't. It was actually a university closure because they said they wanted to start with all the measurements because they thought that the government was going to announce the lockdown. So to give international students time, we had to come back earlier.
Okay. So they did end a bit earlier because they were suspecting that the president would announce the lockdown soon. Okay, makes sense. And how has the lockdown been in Mozambique? How have they? What are the sort of rules that they've implemented, and how is it affecting you?
Right now we are sitting at 70 cases as of yesterday, and we've got a couple of recoveries. We have a partial lockdown this side, so I think it's level 3 if I have to look at the spectrum at which the WHO separated. So we are kind of in lockdown, but we can partially go out, we can still get basic goods, and we can still supply basic services.
Okay. So not materially affected. How has it affected you? Have you had to change any of your behavior or had to do anything differently?
Mostly it was the whole online learning system because now school has to go on because we're still university graduates, and we have got now a system we call Moodle where we normally get our material online, and sometimes we have Zoom sessions. So it's been a struggle because of the network. Sometimes it's down and we got to connect, and also the lecturers that are a bit not used to it. So it's a bit of a struggle.
Okay, so you think I'm hip and happening. I can log into Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're very used to this technology by now and you're getting onto virtual education. How are you experiencing it?
It's pretty good because right now I can multitask because for example, if I'm watching a lecture online, I can log into another tab and, for example, write some notes down. I don't have to get a physical book. I don't have to dress up. I can just wake up 5 minutes, go there because I don't even have to turn my camera on. So it's a great asset for us as students to study online. That's for us that are fortunate to be in that space.
That's true. That's very true. Sure. No, I mean, you make a very good point. There's so many people that don't have this. It's a big luxury item, actually. So how are the rest of people in Mozambique affected, and what is government doing to support those that aren't as fortunate as us?
Oh, that's a good question. I've recently read an article from the United Nations University, and they said the title of the article was literally, "Can Mozambique survive the lockdown?" So they were pointing out factors such as access to electricity, access to water, access to adequate householdings and all that. And the article kind of relates to what's actually happening because people in Mozambique still need to go outside in order to get their basic income. So with the lockdown, even though it's partial, it's kind of affecting the needs of, I think, 70% of our population. We're sitting at 28, 29 million people. So
Yeah.
it's concerning situation right now.
Yeah, no, exactly. Sure. There's lots of things to do during this time. So it can be so concerning. So how do you keep your spirits lifted? How do you keep yourself positive? What are the things that you focus on?
I'm currently studying a lot stock market, as you know, and I also have more time now to read, and I watch a couple of podcasts, and I'm mostly on YouTube, just watching a bit of motivational videos and just getting into areas that previously I couldn't because I was just so focused in school. But now that lectures are only once or twice a day, I actually have more time to focus on other stuff and to get used to the fact that internet is now a part of our lives. So we might as well just get used to it.
Mm. Well, you're the future generation. You're going to change the world. So I look forward to seeing what you're going to come up with. And thanks so much for spending some time with us. And all the best that side. Yeah, and I think we must all just support each other and see if there's any type of support programs, etc. We've got a lot of programs in South Africa. I'm assuming Mozambique is similar, so that we can support those that are less fortunate.
Yes, and it's actually a good point because we have just started with donations. I mean, people in smaller groups have started, so we're trying to put some stimulus in the government to also pay attention to us and to assist the ones in need. Mm. And at a moment like this, I think the best quote that I could leave to people is that after a storm comes a calm. So we just have to be positive and stay positive and remember that we have been through this moment before. I wasn't there, but I think the Great Depression and the economic crisis that the US suffered have shown over the years that we can always come back. We can always recover and just trust God and believe in ourselves.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for that message. So from Marlon in Mozambique, after the storm, there is a calm. So thanks so much for that. That's wonderful. And thanks for taking the time to have the chat.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.